Welcome back to the Monolith Films podcast. Welcome back to the Monolith Films podcast. I'm Nick Gill.
I'm Lee Byrne.
Today we're watching Korine's
Harmony
Korine's 2013?
12.
2012 film Spring Breakers.
Spring break, y'all.
Spring break forever, y'all. Spring break forever.
What'd you think, Nick?
I fucking liked it, dude.
Yeah, me
I
too.
thought it was pretty good. It's like right in the middle of almost abstract story, but
Yeah.
not abstract story. I like that kind of right in the middle where it's more looks to it too. You
Right.
know, I prefer that a lot. What did you? What were your initial thoughts on it? You've seen this 100 times though.
I've seen it a few times recently. The first time I ever saw it was back in 2012. I think I even might have seen it in theaters.
Okay.
And I fucking hated it.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was like, that was just fucking softcore porn the whole time. That was stupid.
That's why I liked it the first time I saw it.
But then, like, maybe a year or two ago even,
Okay.
I gave it a second try, and I fucking loved it.
There you go.
Yeah, it took on I think I don't know, just wasn't paying attention enough to appreciate it the first time, maybe. Too distracted, maybe.
I think the same thing happened with myself. I think I watched in 2012 too, but like some like rip of it, you know,
Yeah.
a guy with his cell phone inside the theater or something probably. And I thought it was just kind of like going nowhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
But now I think we've matured a bit in our visual language. We have a stronger vocabulary and we can understand things more.
Definitely.
Appreciate a movie like this more. Did it get good reviews? Kind of 75 on 100-ish around there?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people hated it and kind of just played it off as some, like, over-sexualization of whatever. Like, yeah, it's got 67 on Rotten Tomatoes, 63 on Metacritic, and 5.5 on IMDb.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
the best reviews, but I thought it was a really good movie.
Definitely mixed, yeah. I liked it a lot. But, I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
audience score is 38, and critic score is 70.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
critics like it more than the audience, which is usually the trend.
It's not exactly like a popcorn movie either, though. If you're going
No,
in
yeah.
expecting to see fucking... What's the female lead in it?
There's Vanessa Hudgens, Selena
Mhm.
Gomez.
Yeah, but even just those two. You
Right,
hear
yeah,
those two
the
names
Disney
and
stars.
you're
Yeah.
picturing something else completely.
Yeah.
And the way I remember it when it came out, people just... It was pretty well just an exploitation movie. Like,
Right,
come
exactly.
watch this. Got boobs and stuff in this. It's a
Yeah.
party movie. But it's, I think, a lot more than a party movie. I don't think it's a party movie at all, really.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think it was pretty smart and kind of devious
Mhm.
for Korine to market it towards people who wanted it to be an exploitation film.
Yeah.
Because he's critiquing the exact audience he marketed the film for.
Yeah.
So it's just funny to have all these people sitting in the theater expecting some party movie and then just getting a movie where...
Get some different slap
Yeah.
in the face. But even, like, he goes so far in maybe the first 25, 30 minutes to make you think that that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like, he sets you up to fail fantastically.
Yeah, I agree.
Until probably they get arrested, I guess, is when it kind of starts to turn around.
Right, yeah. There's an important departure when
Right there.
When the film changes there.
Mhm.
Faith leaves.
Yeah.
Perfect name.
Yeah.
Just like such an obvious stand-in for lower
And
case F, Faith.
she's she's a religious person, too.
Yeah.
That's how she's introduced her character in some prayer, group prayer.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, do you want to talk about the opening?
Yeah, sure.
Like, after that whole party montage there,
Yeah.
that just, like, right off the bat desensitizes us, just throws us right into the mix.
It really is. It's like it's trash on display.
Yeah.
But it's like elevated trash. He's not making fun of it explicitly. He's
Right.
just kind of showing it to you, and you're supposed to go, "Yeah, this looks like an MTV video or something."
Right, exactly.
But then the critique comes later.
Yeah.
Like 2/3 into it, you start to go, "Oh, wait a second, I got tricked."
So after that scene, we get a few nice shots of the campus and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see a lecture on civil rights after
Yeah.
World War II, which I have yet to pin down why that's there. and then it cuts to Faith in some like prayer circle with some preacher.
Yeah.
That one's more obvious.
Yeah.
The significance there. Faith is the most the only religious character, I'd say.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I think you need to define religion, because I think the other characters are just as devoted,
Yeah,
but
it's
to a different type
yeah.
of religion.
It's more of an ethereal, spiritual kind of.
It's like the religion of youth culture.
Yeah, but even Faith, she seems kind of distant a bit to it. She's on the fringes between the two worlds.
And Korine does a really good job at showing us that by creating physical distance between her and the other girls.
Okay.
Anytime we see Faith with the other girls, she's always kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
Right? When they sit in the car, she's always the one sitting
shotgun. She's always in the front. Yeah.
She's never with the other girls. She wasn't at the lecture. She was with her prayer circle.
And just looks-wise, she's got the only one with dark hair.
It's true. She's the only one with an accent.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah, there's a lot of effort put into to place Faith as separate from these other girls.
Placing her apart. She's
Yeah.
the first one to get out, too.
Right. So that preaching, whatever prayer circle scene sets us up, introduces us to Faith as more of just another one of the girls, right? It sets her up as kind of representing the group's faith in some wholesome way, which is interesting. But even she, right, she smokes weed, she drinks, parties.
But she's still holding them above the waterline. And then when she leaves, then it's complete chaos.
Right.
Do we want to maybe give a quick summary of
true, eh? We just kind of jumped right in.
We skipped we got thrown away by the fantastic opening montage. It sets perfectly.
It starts off with introducing us to these 4 girls. Britt, Candy, Faith, and Cotty. All played by... Well, 3 of them are played by well-known kind of pop
They're pretty big,
actresses.
Yeah.
And one of them is the director's wife, Harmony Korine. Wife is Rachel, I think, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe I'm wrong on that.
It's funny,
Rachel.
Yeah, before we started, we were talking about... it's a funny role where he'd throw his wife in.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like the most dingiest character. She's always got her top off. She's always... No end to that sentence.
She's just always.
So dirty pink hair,
So these 4 girls are trying to go to Florida for spring break, but they're broke. So they collect all of Faith's money, because she's the only one with any. It's still not enough. So they rob a chicken shack to make up the rest, and then they go...
That's a fucking cool shot when they rob the chicken shack.
Man, we're going to talk about that.
That's a cool one.
And then, so they end up going to Florida. They get enough money. They take a bus down.
It's funny, too, that Florida's like the cesspool, degenerate hole of everything.
It really is, isn't it? So they end up in Florida for spring break. They party and party and party. They get arrested. They meet James Franco's character, Alien. Some drug-dealing kind of gangster wannabe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm inclined to say gangster wannabe, but he is pretty much just a gangster at that point.
Yeah, but he's like living the aesthetic lifestyle of it. He's more of the looks. When you see Gucci come on, I forgot Gucci was in this movie. Dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, is he cool in this movie, dude? When you see Gucci there, you're like, oh man, that's a gangster.
Yeah.
That's not James Franco. It's Gucci.
So then Faith doesn't like Alien. Shit gets too real for her. So she goes back home. The other girls stick around, get into some more crime.
Do you think shit got too real for Faith, or she just didn't like hanging out with the twins? Those are 2 fucking weirdos.
The DP twins?
Yeah. That's a good fucking... These twins do everything together.
Oh, fuck. You know what I'm saying? So then, in the end, I don't know, they kind of... Alien kind of gets what he deserves, but the 2 girls end up completely unscathed.
Yeah.
Shit hits the fan even more. I mean, they shoot up Gucci Mane's fucking palace, yeah. They just kill everyone without even a scratch. I mean, Alien gets fucking blasted in the head right off the bat. It's so funny. I love that.
Yeah, Gucci's living the life in this movie.
I mean, yeah, and that's pretty much the whole movie.
Pretty well.
Not much.
But it's not much of a story movie.
Right, exactly, yeah.
The story doesn't really story is secondary more, I think, to critique, and then looks kind of tie everything together.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a very, very beautiful film to watch. Every shot is, I think every single one stylized. There's not one
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
kind of a boring shot,
Big time.
or a shot where the lighting isn't skewed in some way.
Yeah.
Or there's something's lit differently or beautifully.
The visual assault of the movie is not just the depravity of the party scenes. It's definitely the style of the film itself is kind of almost aggressively stylized.
Yeah. Even the editing, too, how everything's kind of montaged together.
Yeah. But there's a nice mix of kind of slow,
Yeah.
I find, in the middle. There's a lot of these kind of like handheld, subjective shots
Yeah.
throughout the entire thing.
You float around a lot with
Yeah.
the things. You're like seeing everything from every view. Like, I almost felt like the way it was cut together, like they ran through the scene, okay, let's do this, whatever, 10 times, but kind of floating camera around.
Right.
And then just cut all the different takes together.
Yeah.
So you get kind of a 360 view of each space. Kind of, you're
Yeah,
moving
I
back
know what
and
you
forth. And like the scene I'm thinking of is the one where Alien takes Faith aside for the first time. And he's like,
Right.
I like you, and he's like patting her on the chin.
Yeah.
And you can tell in between each shot, like the sequencing, it doesn't work.
Right.
Like if you were doing it for a normal movie where you'd want, okay, his hand was on her cheek, okay, the next shot his hand still has to be on her cheek, but it's kind of more of a feeling that you get
Yeah.
of the scene. The images, they're not, I guess they're not supposed to be exactly strung together as if they're like in succession, but they're more cut together for the feel of it. You still get the idea of the scene together, even if things don't line up as they would in a normal movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It gives this like you mentioned floating around. It gives this kind of like dream essence to the whole movie.
Yeah.
I find
They mention that a lot too. Oh,
Yeah.
this is the dream. I'm
Yeah.
living the dream now.
it's interesting too because both girls who leave
Mhm.
who leave Florida, they both sleep on the bus. So it's kind of like when
Okay.
they get home, they wake up from that dream.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
I didn't notice that. It is cool.
Yeah. But yeah, and in that scene, to focus on that scene a little more, it's kind of interspersed with more montage of them partying before
Mhm.
and then them partying now with Alien.
Yeah.
And to us, doesn't seem that different, right? But for
Yeah.
some reason to Faith, something's bothering her.
Well, that's when the black guys show up, and that's when she has to get out. When they go to the black pool hall is when she starts freaking out.
It's true.
Yeah, one line I wrote down was, the scum come to Florida on spring break.
Yeah, I love that.
That is a good line.
It's funny because he's just talking about them. He's just calling them scum because that's exactly what they did.
No, but I like you girls. I like you girls. So I guess you can start analyzing some stuff beyond aesthetics.
Yeah. I mean, I've
Um,
got a pretty decent amount going
Yeah.
on. Yeah, there's a lot. I think, at least. There's a lot to this movie, a lot more than people think.
Mhm.
I mean, every time I told someone we were doing this movie next,
Yeah.
they would always just ask why.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they were
Really?
like, what? Really, that movie? Why?
I think that might be the thing, because people think it's like supposed to be a popcorn movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's very different. The editing we were talking about, where it's got a montage, but the time doesn't matter of the montage, where it kind
Right.
of makes this blurry space, this nothing time. Would you say it's like a spring break kind of dream limbo state,
Yeah.
outside of reality? The editing, it's a lot like the movie Easy Rider with Dennis Hopper.
I don't.
The way Dennis Hopper cuts that movie together, it's like the next scene slowly gets cut into the scene previous,
Okay.
and the closer you get to the change of time, the quicker the cuts get. So when you're getting like the last 30 seconds of the scene, it's almost like a flicker scene, cutting back and forth
Interesting.
between the scene and the future part. And this is kind of the same thing, but the whole way through.
Right.
Not just near the end of the scene where they start showing you the future of it, but they blend all the times together, and you just kind of forget where you are in this Florida time hole.
Yeah.
You just get sucked in.
Yeah. But there's a lot more, like, flashbacks
Mm.
in this one, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Easy Rider's pretty well only future and only,
Yeah.
like, it's that one little motif to get to the next scene.
So, I think I'd like to keep talking about Faith.
Yes.
Because I mean, I love how seemingly obvious Korine made it that this movie is more than it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He names a character Faith. He
Yeah.
names the other one Alien.
Yeah.
Like, they're very literal
Yeah.
representations of what those characters are to the story.
Yeah. I think he's trying to help out the audience too, because
Yeah.
he knows the audience that's going to come see it. He can't give them fucking some kind of, I don't know, reference to a fucking 14th century play or something.
Right,
No one's
exactly.
yeah.
Or even, I mean, this came out the same year as Terrence Malick's Tree of Life.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Kind of similar shot then.
Aesthetically, they're
Yeah.
pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Faith is very much not just their Christian friend, but she is their faith.
Yeah.
Right? So at first, they're together and they have faith in this idealized image of what spring break will be.
Mm-hmm.
It's this escape from their own reality,
Yeah.
escape from routine. And that's what faith preaches to them.
That's what we see at the beginning too. Is there
Yes,
kind
exactly.
of fantasy of it? We see this golden beach world where everyone's partying, everyone's having a great time.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the apartments and stuff, it gets a little dingy.
Yeah. And right off the bat, like I said, Korine provides us this physical separation between Faith and the other girls.
Mm-hmm.
But they also kind of just abuse their friendship with her. Right? Like, they fund...
Give us money.
Yeah, exactly. They literally wake her up in the morning yelling, "Give us your money, give us,
Yeah.
we want your money, give us your money."
You never done that to your buddies before.
So then,
Give us your money.
she's also the one who gives us the monologues.
Yeah.
Right? We get these nice montages of
Mhm.
just pure depravity. Just these awful party scenes
Yeah.
mixed in with Faith talking about how, like, everyone's miserable back home in their routine.
Yeah.
It's so funny. She calls her grandma, right? She's talking to her grandma, and she's saying shit like,
Everyone's so happy.
"Yeah,
here.
this is such a special place. It's the most spiritual place I've ever been.
We're meeting so many new friends.
We're really finding ourselves here. I want to come back next year with you," she
Yeah.
says to her
I'll bring you
grandma.
next year.
While we're seeing,
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
That's what you would say.
while we're seeing just drugs, tits,
Granny's
money.
gone wild
Yeah.
next year.
So I think that juxtaposition is like a common thread throughout the entire movie
Yeah.
of their very genuine dialogue
Yeah.
mixed with the very insincere visuals that were being presented.
It's cool how those hypersexualized images, like, he makes them,
Yeah.
because he fetishizes the bodies, like male and female bodies, but the way he fetishizes them is that he sections them off into
Yeah.
like small things. So you'd see like a girl's legs or something, or her ass,
Yeah.
and you'd see like a guy's abs and he's cracking a beer or something. Like, everything's cut bodily, so you only get sections of things, like when the camera goes underwater and they're in the pool,
Yeah.
and you just see legs
I wrote
and
that
stuff.
down too.
So that he's kind of cutting up the body to put it on display. So it's less of a human interaction and more of a carnal one.
Yeah, definitely. I wrote about that when the camera dips below the water when they're in the
Mhm.
pool. It was kind of like Korine is kind of putting like a mirror in front of us, right? Like, we're
Okay.
expecting them to do that, almost like the
Yeah.
audience. If the audience was the camera, they would be doing that, right?
Yeah.
Like, in this scenario, this is what we would do.
Who's that alien in the pool? Let me get a look at that guy's knees for a second. Let me bob under.
To continue with Faith, she's the first one to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I found interesting after Alien bails them out,
Yeah.
because they go to jail with Alien's, whatever,
One of the
his crew.
twins or
Yeah, his
something,
twins
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And then,
Misdemeanor drug charge, and they have to pay a fee or pay a fine, and they don't
Yeah.
have the money, and then alien gets them out.
yeah, exactly. So then they're sitting in that park talking,
Yeah.
and in the way it's filmed, every time you see a girl,
Yeah.
the camera's down, looking down on them.
Okay.
Every time you see Alien, it's looking up
Looking
at them.
up, yeah.
Like, just right off the bat establishes this nice
Little
power dynamic.
Oh.
Exactly. And then he describes their spring break experience exactly to a T,
Yeah.
without ever being with
Yeah.
them until this point.
Smoke some weed.
And you
Do
see
some cocaine. You guys got cocaine.
and you see Faith realize that this dream is not unique to them.
No.
That their experience here is nothing special after all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's when the reality of her situation hits her. And that's when her perspective changes.
Yeah.
But it's
definitely right then.
also when the other girls' perspectives get solidified.
Yeah.
Because now they have this rich gangster to fund their party. They
Yeah.
have someone to not necessarily worship, but someone to associate their own dreams with.
Mm-hmm.
And their dream is this reality. They like it to be reality.
Yeah. Well, they say spring break forever, and they want to stay there forever.
Yeah. So that's when faith leaves them both literally in the character and spiritually. Their faith in what their faith in their old life basically is replaced with a faith in an alien life.
Yeah, gangster party life.
Yeah.
It's kind of reflected in the editing too.
Yeah,
I was
definitely.
thinking where you I just kind of got lost in it, just go sit back and enjoy the movie, and you're taken all over the place, going back to different scenes, going forward to different scenes. Well, never really forward, but always kind of backwards and through different views of the space that you're in. So I thought you're definitely like getting lost in it, the same way these characters are getting lost in this world. So you're stuck there for as long as they are, and you don't know what time is really.
Yeah,
time doesn't really matter in these scenes, and even repetition doesn't matter. Because you hear the same things many times over.
Yeah,
it's like you're getting sucked into this time space.
Yeah.
Like how many times do they say, I want to be here for the rest of my life or something? That's every second scene.
Even the end of every single one of the girls' monologues is repeated like a mantra.
Yeah, almost. I want to do better.
Yeah.
I want to do better. Well, that's at the end there.
Yeah.
But
or in the beginning, they say like, what? Pretend it's a movie. You got to be hard. Yeah. Don't be afraid of anything.
Yeah, and it's the exact same dialogue right now.
Yeah, exactly.
The exact same thing.
Yeah.
You're just getting sucked in. Interesting choice, I thought, to get rid of like your main female lead halfway through the movie. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that as well. I like that a lot. Another kind of like fuck you to the audience who was expecting a certain type of movie with Selena Gomez in it. They get like half the movie with Selena Gomez, and only half of that half is the movie they expected.
Yeah, not even
not even
opening 2 minutes.
Just the montage shots.
Yeah. Sick montage. Sick friggin' montage.
Everyone leaves the theater after the montage. Like, that was a dope movie. That was so cool, guys.
I want to go on spring break. I'm scum. I can go to Florida.
But that's kind of that's almost what Korine was hoping for.
You think?
I think. I mean, that's what he's criticizing, at least.
Yeah.
Right, this movie acts on different levels. Mm-hmm. It's for me now, it's a very obvious criticism of youth culture.
Yeah.
And of over-sexualization and the fetishization of that culture. But, I mean, it's also almost kind of like a love letter to it at the same time.
Yeah.
Because Korine is very definitely passionate about this culture.
He's, like, satirizing it so much that he becomes it.
Right, exactly. And, like, he never condescends on the girls who stay with Alien.
No.
And he never gives evidence in the film that their experience is less genuine than Faith's religious experience.
Yeah.
Their devotion to this lifestyle is always affirmed positively.
Yeah. The whole movie, even on his part, he's completely genuine.
Yeah, exactly.
Crafting the movie, because he never gives in to some like cheap go away or something.
Right.
He's always following the formula, not the formula, but the manifesto that he set out to do, and he's not being short on style or being short on any kind of extravagance. The extravagance stays 100% the whole way through pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's that juxtaposition of the girls' monologues about how important this experience is to them and how much they've grown and how much they're better for it. Mm-hmm. That is genuine, while also the visuals of this hypersexualized culture is also very genuine.
And he's never making fun of anything.
Exactly.
He's never making fun of anything you see or hear.
Yeah, so, and then the third part that I caught on to was just a testament to religious experience. Mm-hmm. And we see that with Faith, and then Alien kind of replaces her as that image.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like Korine is saying that the nature of that religious experience is less important than the depth of that experience.
Mm-hmm. Or just the experience itself
is
enough for it.
Yeah.
Because even watching this movie, it feels almost like some kind of washing over you of something like, many different images, so many different colors, so many different everything, just smacking you the whole way through.
Yeah.
That's what I felt.
No, definitely. And it's like he's trying to provide the same experience the girls get. Mm-hmm. The same mix of insincerity and genuine growth from that insincerity.
Yeah.
Is exactly what he's giving us with the movie.
Yeah. Even Alien's character, I think, is completely genuine.
Yeah, definitely.
He's just
Yeah.
doing what he does. He's Alien. That's what he does.
That's what he says, right? He says, what? He's like, I want to be bad.
Yeah.
That's his whole, what does he call
I
it?
want to be the baddest. Something like that.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting with the story going on is that it kind of they mentioned the American dream a couple times. They go, "This
Yeah.
is the American dream," and it's kind of like shifting what the American dream was
Right.
to the youth
Yeah.
idea of the American dream, where what would the original idea be? You
White
can-
picket fence, nuclear family.
Yeah, but like you can, everyone has the opportunity
Right,
to
yeah. Make it.
increase their.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, and now this is kind of like everyone can just party all the time.
Right.
Is the dream that they're after. And I wrote down, I thought it was hilarious, his lines when Alien's showing off his condo to the
yeah.
girls. Fuck, is like this, I got Scarface on repeat, Calvin Klein escape perfume. And I got nunchucks, I got shuriken.
Yeah.
That's the fucking...
Yeah. He starts
That's
off with
the
just saying,
line.
look at my shit.
Look at my
shit. Shorts every fucking color. Look at my shit. It's fucking funny. But, like, that, to me,
Yeah.
struck me as almost like a direct literary allusion to The Great Gatsby.
Okay.
Because you remember that scene when Gatsby is tossing all his shirts down
Yeah.
at Daisy?
Yeah.
And he's like, I have tons of shirts.
Mhm.
Look at all my different colored shirts.
I guess
That's
so, yeah.
exactly what Alien is doing here. And they're both, right, the Gatsby,
Yeah.
he's a bootlegger? He sells
Yeah,
booze back
yeah.
during the Prohibition
Yeah.
era. So they're the same character.
Pretty well.
They're
huh?
both getting that
Yeah.
American dream.
That's true. Eh? It's
I thought that was
funny
pretty cool.
And you got Gatsby with a nice button-up shirt, and he's showing fucking shorts off.
Yeah.
Check these shorts. These are O'Neill.
So I thought that was a good way to make Alien's character even more genuine.
I didn't even think of that. That is
Yeah.
that's completely true. They're the same character.
Like, almost exactly
Yeah.
the same character.
And even, like, it doesn't seem like Alien wants to exploit the girls, really.
Right, no.
It seems like he does
He
affectionately, he feels for them.
yeah, he
very much.
genuinely loves them. I mean, he says, what did he say? Like, y'all are my soulmates?
Yeah.
Right? He fucking means it.
Yeah, pretty well. And he
I mean,
sucks those
yeah,
gun dicks
exactly.
pretty well. He sucks those
Yeah.
gun dicks good.
He wouldn't have fucking licked that fucking barrel if he didn't love them.
Put the silencer back on.
I think, man, I think...
I want to go uvula boxing.
I was gonna say, I think Franco deserved a fucking Oscar for this.
Just for his hair, fuck.
I was looking at the Oscars for that year.
Yeah.
Who won? This movie wasn't nominated for anything.
Really? Even editing. I'd
Even
say,
editing.
Like, that's... What movie would get something editing other than a movie? This is pretty well strung together completely through edits.
Editing was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
That was pretty good, too. I
Yeah?
kind of like that one. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
The Artist, which won... Well, Dragon Tattoo won for Best Editing.
Yeah.
Artist won for Best Picture that year.
That, I think, was a bit of a scam, though,
Yeah,
too.
I think so, too. I think that was just like, hey, let's make a movie so we can win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Happens a lot.
Like, oh, there hasn't been a silent movie in 40 years. Let's make one. Bunch of
Then,
assholes.
The Descendants, Hugo, and Moneyball, which were all kind of meh, I thought.
Yeah.
Korine didn't get anything.
Oh, these were good edits. This is his most audience-friendly movie, I guess, too, compared to his other ones.
Oh, man. He's got this one movie called Trash Humpers.
Please do tell.
It's completely handheld,
Yeah.
like home movie style.
VHS?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you could buy it on VHS on their website and everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And it's literally just like an hour and 15 minutes of these like trailer trash, literally trash humpers. They literally hump trash in the movie on more than one occasion.
Nice.
There's a scene where a dude's just fucking a tree. And he pulls his pants down and starts fingering his asshole while he's just fucking a literal tree in like this apartment building's front yard, like in public.
Well, in the apartment, sometimes you gotta get it going. Like, if you can't find gun dicks to suck, you might as well fuck
Exactly.
a tree.
So it's just this like hour and 15-minute long, basically of just presenting trash as art,
Yeah.
which is in a way what this movie is doing as well.
Yeah.
Right? It's Korine saying that this trash, this type of experience can be just as meaningful as art.
Well, this is like neo-realism. You know?
Right,
They're
yeah.
showing fucking dirtiest, dingiest things.
Yeah.
We
But-
do see a lot of love letters to the VHS, though, in Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, in the the kind of early first third of the movie before they get arrested, a lot of the cuts in the scenes go between kind of the normal film
Right. Yeah.
look, and then it goes to like a digital kind of look, and then like a VHS black and white sometimes, and you get like the tracking is off in some of the shots, and you see like lines of
Yeah.
like tape lines cut in. I thought it was really cool how they cut that together. That adds like a layer of realism to
Yeah,
the thing on top
yeah.
of it.
It makes, I don't know, like it kind of puts you in there with the girls. Helps you to experience that with them in a genuine sense. Because without that, it would seem more like a movie.
Yeah.
It would seem more like you're watching party scenes. It wouldn't seem as human, as connected.
Yeah. I was thinking during those party scenes, do you think any of those extras and the kids knew that they were going to make some kind of art movie with it?
No,
Or they were
definitely
like, this
not.
is going to be a
dude.
sick party movie. And then it's like some weird slow motion montage stuff.
I'm not even sure how much the leads knew what they were doing for this movie.
Who cares? Okay, I liked it. I thought it came out very well.
I think so too. And I think like the fact that he casts these Disney stars
Yeah.
just to help that fake image he's creating. I know he wrote the screenplay for the movie Kids.
Sure, it was good.
It's a 95. It's about this kid named Telly, I think, who just wants to fuck all these virgins. And one of them...
Wait a second. Just take my life story and fucking...
Well, hold on, Nick. You might take that back. He gives one of the girls AIDS.
It is my fucking...
And she finds out that his idea of safe sex is to only fuck virgins. So it's basically her trying to stop him from giving half of New York AIDS. But it's a super similar... Like this, he only did the screenplay. He didn't direct it.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual story is super similar to this as well.
Okay.
Right, where it's this genuine experience mixed with this extremely
Yeah.
insincere, depraved physical scenes. But yeah, the number one review for kids
Mm-hmm.
on Letterboxd is AIDS and confused. But since so he did Kids. That's how he kind of broke out, I think.
Mhm.
And then he directed a bunch of stuff.
A lot of those VHS looking things.
Yeah,
though.
definitely.
Yeah.
Nothing I've ever really heard of except
No.
for Trash Humpers.
Yeah.
He acts in that.
Does he?
Yeah, he's one of the Trash Humpers. It's hilarious.
What's the other one? He's got Diego Luna in one of his movies too, I believe. Where it's like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
and-
Mr. Lonely or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Michael Jackson and Marilyn Monroe impersonators move to an island of impersonators and live together happy.
That sounds
Kind of
hilarious.
surreal too. Same thing as this movie.
Yeah.
Pretty surreal. The thing I knew that I didn't know Harmony Korine did, or I only knew when we were doing a bit of research for doing this Spring Breakers podcast, was that his first movie, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Julian Donkey Boy. Because that stars one of my favorites, Werner Herzog, as the
Oh,
dad. Yeah. He plays the dad character in that movie. That's pretty cool.
It was not his
wasn't his
debut.
first one, no?
His debut was Gummo.
Oh, okay.
I have
I
never...
know Gummo, yeah.
No, I've never seen it. I've heard of it just
Yeah.
from looking into Harmony.
Mm-hmm.
But two teenagers kill time in Zinnia, Ohio, a small town that has never recovered from the tornado that ravaged the community in the 70s.
In line with the rest of the kind of things, probably like surreal landscape.
Looks pretty weird.
Dream.
You look at
dreamscape.
the...
Oh yeah, nice. We're looking at a nice wide-angle shot of a kid's head eating spaghetti in the bathtub. The bath water is green, and the fucking tiles are destroyed. Spaghetti looks alright. A little soupy for my taste.
Well,
But,
hey, I mean, what are you going to do in a tornado, right?
He's also drinking milk and spaghetti.
Oh,
Some kind of animal.
don't get me started on milk and spaghetti. Full offense to anyone listening who eats milk with spaghetti.
A dairy and a starch? Are you in... Do you live in Zimbo, Ohio? Gucci
Yeah.
might be my favorite character in this movie.
Oh, he's good.
Gucci's a straight gangster.
Yeah,
in this
he
movie.
is.
He's not even acting. He's just
No, yeah.
mumbling.
That's
and
what a
it's
lot of people say.
fantastic.
It's like Gucci
Yeah.
in Spring Breakers as Gucci.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you remember his name?
No, I don't remember his name.
But yeah, he is pretty much just himself.
You think when he got on set, they're like, okay, Gucci, we just need you to mumble and say anything. Oh man, I'll raise you in the streets, man.
Man, I love when he's having sex with those two girls. He's just lying there doing
Yeah,
nothing,
Gucci. Yeah,
just
I like
talking
that.
to them. Just,
I like that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's nice. Yeah, keep doing that. Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
a surprise when he comes in.
Yeah,
too.
it is.
I really forgot he was in there, and when you see his little ice cream cone face, you go, yeah.
I mean, I never added the word Gucci to my searches, but you never get really any like wide angle shots of him until like it's always pretty close up on his face until he's in his house
Yeah.
holding his child
Oh, yeah.
in front of a mountain of weed,
Yeah.
talking about how he's got to feed his baby.
They're taking money out of
Yeah.
my baby's mouth.
Fuck, that's so funny.
He's got tons of people,
Yeah.
white leather couches, everyone's dressed to the T. He's taking money from my baby's mouth. Some dirty guy in an apartment with two twins, fucking.
So funny. Yeah, Gucci's definitely fucking hilarious, and like his car is so much nicer than Aliens.
Yeah, right?
Like there's such like
He's got an orange Lamborghini, fuck.
such a large difference in these two gangsters.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I had a question about that.
Yeah.
For you, your opinion on it. Do you think we're supposed to take this as like an allegory story, or is this like a real story? You think?
allegory for what?
I'm not sure. Any kind of like maybe not an allegory, but more of a metaphor for you go. Oh, I guess I shouldn't do this, and I should be better. Like what they're saying to their mother. Was it just a straightforward little thing like that, or do you think it's more of a like I'm talking about the actual like reality of the movie?
Right.
Are we
yeah.
supposed to take it as something real, like these girls actually did this, or is this like, okay, this could be trials in your life or things you have
Right.
to go through to come out on the other end? Because when they steal Gucci's car at the end, like for sure you just track the fucking it's an orange Lamborghini and they're driving to fucking buttfuck nowhere, you know?
Yeah, but at the same time, like it's a gangster's car.
Yeah.
I doubt it's registered.
You don't think so?
Like, what are you gonna do?
But
Register a car you bought with drug money?
Maybe I don't know.
Right? Dude definitely doesn't pay his taxes. You know.
But even when the girls break into Gucci's place and kill everyone, I don't know if these two
Yeah.
girls could do it.
Yeah. I mean, there's some. I think the way I saw it is that to answer your question,
Yeah.
yes, these things really happened.
Okay.
I think the reason Britt and Candy
Mm-hmm.
remain unscathed throughout is because they have faith in that image. They're so devoted to this lifestyle, just as Faith is devoted to her more suburban lifestyle,
Yeah.
that they're able to survive it fully, and they are able to recognize it more. They're able to recognize it on a different level than Alien,
Mm-hmm.
who is fully committed, but like you said, very much just living the aesthetic life.
Yeah.
So when he tries to infiltrate the palace, he gets shot in the head right away.
2 seconds.
Yeah, instantly.
Yeah.
But these girls are able to overpower Alien in that bedroom scene,
Yeah.
right? And so they're also able to overpower his perspective of this image, of this lifestyle. And so their devotion to it is what allows them to overpower everyone.
Okay, yeah.
That's how I saw it. They're also they drive over the same bridge, the two girls at the end, so they're going home,
Yeah.
but they're not sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think they're not waking up from this dream. This is their life now.
Hmm.
They're going home to, I don't know what they're going to do, but they're not going to give up this lifestyle.
No, you don't think they're going back to school like that?
Well, I mean, they'll probably roll up to school. I'm not sure if they'll go to class. I'm not sure if
That's a good way of putting
Civil
it.
Rights 101 is going to...
I took the 201. It was easy. We only had 3 tests. It was a thin course pack.
Also, I think that's the reason why Cotty, Rachel Corinne's character,
Yeah.
also leaves,
Okay.
right? Faith leaves because she's devoted to a different type of image.
Mhm.
She's devoted to a different type of faith
Yeah.
than the other girls. Cotty gets shot
Yeah.
and leaves because the reality of the situation doesn't line up with her dreams.
Yeah. Well, I bet if Britt or Candy got shot, they wouldn't have been phased.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the reality does line up with their dreams.
Yeah.
This
They're
harsh...
in full.
Yeah, they're okay with this harsh, unsexualized version of reality because that's what they are sexualizing.
Yeah.
That's what they like. But Cotty, her image of it is the sexualized version of it
Mm-hmm.
beforehand. So when she gets shot,
That's
she's kind of
true.
snapped into reality.
Yeah.
And she's like the biggest party animal. You know, she's just like in it for the party. They're in it for the broader experience. So when she gets shot, she can't handle it. She goes home. She wakes up from the dream. We were talking earlier about how, upon initial release, this movie came off as just pure exploitation.
Yeah.
And the first movie we did for this podcast, Cannibal Holocaust, was also received the same way.
Same thing.
And they're the same thing in more ways than that, because they're both kind of self-critical meta movies about the state of culture at the time, but also about themselves.
Yeah.
Right, in the same way that Diodato was writing the very type of extreme story that he's criticizing, Korine is writing the very same type of culture he's criticizing. I think the only difference is I think Korine shows a deeper love and appreciation for the things he's criticizing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Diodato is more cynical in his criticisms.
Diodato's pretty cynical, but this was near like the end of his career too, or midway through his career too. So he'd been stuck in that kind of B-movie, gore phantasm world for a long time.
Okay.
But they both do it in the exact same way, where they're using the language against the speakers of the language. Yeah. He's taking the aesthetics of this party and shitting on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not really shitting on it. I'll cut that part out.
Well, I mean, no, he is. He's shitting on it in a way. He's shitting on the masses' perspective of it, right? He's shitting on how people look at that lifestyle very shallowly.
Or the idea that this has become the fantasy.
Yeah.
That this is what you should aspire to.
Right.
It's just to party all day and have no... Because you see them when they're partying, the girls are having a great time.
Yeah.
But in between the party scenes, they seem like just lost.
Yeah.
Like they don't know what they're doing. And that's when you get the kind of monologues when they're going back
Right.
home or calling back home. And it seems as though they're trying to... they see that there's no depth to this lifestyle,
Yeah.
I thought. And... yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think Korine's point with this movie is saying that you can love that lifestyle.
But
you can love that
yeah.
culture. But
Oh.
you have to...
It's all surface, though.
Yeah, exactly. You have to love it deeply.
Yeah.
You have to understand it fully.
Yeah.
You can't just love the image of it and then abandon it once you discover the reality of it.
Because that's what everyone else does. They just go for
Exactly.
spring break, the 2 weeks, and then they head back.
Yeah.
So they're getting just the...
Just a taste, just a sample.
I don't have to finish any sentence if I don't want to. One thing I was thinking, the way they kind of use this spring break as kind of purging their system of all this kind of foulness, and they get back to their suburban lives where they're normal.
Yeah.
Again, or I guess like Faith and Rachel Korine's character,
Mm-hmm.
they both kind of do that, where they like the look of the world first. They like the look of this party world. Then they experience it, and they go a bit too deep for their comfort level. They both get uncomfortable, and they both go back home. I thought that was a way of them kind of baptizing themselves in it, and then going, "Oh, it's not for me," kind of thing, and going back. And I knew Rasputin. You know Rasputin?
Yeah.
He would do the same thing, where it was like, I don't know if it's actually true that he would do the same thing, but I heard that he would have to indulge himself in the worst sinful behavior to be closer to God.
Right.
So he would go and just like rape 9-year-old girls and stuff, and like just butcher animals and things, but only like one day a month. And the rest of the day he was like a holy guy. So I thought this was the same thing, where you kind of live your life as a nice person for the full year at school and everything, just a normal person, and then for 2 weeks in spring,
Yeah.
you just go mental.
You purge.
Yeah.
You mentioned how in between parties the girls seem kind of lost.
Yeah.
Right before they show the chicken shack robbery for the second time,
Yeah.
which we should talk about after,
That's a cool shot.
they're just hanging out outside some corner store,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they buy some booze and they just drink it outside the corner store.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like lounging around, joking around. They start singing Britney Spears. You know, they're doing the exact same thing they did back home,
Yeah.
which is the exact thing they're trying to get away from, right? Because we have Faith's monologue going into spring break talking about how she hates routine. You know, she's just trying to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And then they escape to this place where they literally do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like we're being exposed to the hypocrisy
Mm-hmm.
of youth culture and how we
It's
tend to fall into.
It's all fantasy.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all just a fantasy. I had a little thing we were talking about the physical ways the kind of wardrobe and set design kind of distinguish the characters apart.
Okay.
Like with Faith having dark hair and the other girls
Right.
with the blonde, more party girls.
Yeah. She's also always wearing a crucifix, I think.
Is she too? Yeah. One thing I wrote down was near the end of the movie, you see Britt and Candy.
Yep.
They're wearing a lot of animal print clothes. So they're like dominant predator kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you see Rachel Corine's character wearing like basketball jerseys and stuff a lot.
Okay.
In 2 or 3 scenes, you see them kind of dressed the same way. And I thought that was kind of like she's just playing the game. Or Rachel Corine's character.
Yeah.
She's just there to just try it out, go in the court a bit.
Yeah, that's it.
Shoot the ball a bit.
Just for the image.
Yeah, but then these two other blonde characters, Britt and Candy, they're in it for the full 9 yards. They got the fucking cheetah print on. They're ready to get some blood.
Right, you get that right when Faith leaves. That separation starts to happen between Cotty and the other two.
That's
Even
amazing,
yeah, Cotty. Even when they're with Alien in his room, Cotty's like crashed on the couch or something the entire time for that whole sequence that keeps getting cut in.
She missed out.
Yeah, she missed out on James Franco sucking some gun dick. I wouldn't want to miss out on that.
I'm gonna rewatch it tonight.
You want to talk about the robbery scene?
Yeah, that is a cool shot, single shot the whole way through. Shot starts off inside a pickup truck.
El Camino.
El Camino, oh yeah. We pan from the cab to I guess the bed of the car, and the 2 girls get out with Britt and Candy get out, I guess.
Yeah.
With their ski masks on and fake water pistol guns, and they run into the chicken shack. And as they run into the back door, we stay in the truck, or we stay in the El Camino with Cotty as we kind of go around the building 180. And as we pass around the building, we hear the sounds of it. When we get to the other side of it, we see a window where they're kind of smashing shit. We see another window where they put a gun up to a guy who's just eating chicken. Yeah. And then we come around to the other side of the building, and the girls run out, get back in the El Camino, and they fuck off.
Yeah. Pretty expertly. Yeah. For some first-time robbery. Yeah. They did that pretty well.
I was thinking, if I was that dude, there's like a 300-pound guy eating chicken in there. If some little twig girl came up and was going, "Hey, you get on the fucking ground," I'd be like, "Give me a shot. I got 500 pounds of blubber here. Try and hit an organ."
And I love how the gun they're using is a water gun that they fill with booze. Yeah. And like the tip is orange. She just puts electric tape on it.
Is that what she did?
Yeah. It's so funny. Didn't even like spray paint or anything. Just tape on it.
Sometimes you got to do it, dude.
So funny.
It worked out for them though.
Yeah, it did. So that scene I marked down as being a foreshadowing of the state of the relationship further on in the movie. Yeah. So you have Britt and Candy, who are in the chicken shack, robbing the people.
Doing the dirty work.
They're in the middle of the violence.
Yeah.
They're living the violence. They're in it. Cotty is watching it happen from the safety of a car. She's listening to music. She can't hear anything. So it's kind of like a music video to her. Right? It's just this image
it's
to
like
her.
The video game for her. Like she said,
exactly,
pretend it's a movie. Pretend it's a video game.
For her, it still is the video game.
Yeah.
And then Faith is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
So then that's what ends up happening. Right? And then we get a juxtaposition of Cotty's experience of the robbery with Britt and Candy's experience of the robbery later on when they're retelling it to Faith. There's no more music. We're in the chicken shack. It's dirty and violent. Yeah. Right? So we get the real image of what that lifestyle is. Faith is terrified. Yeah. Because they're yelling at her.
Yeah, in the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Cotty's, again, she's not as distant as Faith, but she's also, right, she was in the car. So
there's still a buffer between her and she's like secondary.
Yeah. And that distance is consistent throughout between those characters.
And marked by her hair too.
Yeah. One's brown, one's pink, the other ones are... Right, exactly. Even more of that focus on image, right?
Yeah.
That pink hair.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Check the old notes.
We were talking about the pool scene
Yeah.
before. Faith gets like, kind of like, I'd say quasi deep,
Mm-hmm.
right? She starts talking about how she wishes they can live in this forever. They can, she's like buy a house together or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then either Candy or Britt is like, yeah, cool, Faith, cool.
Yeah.
And they make fun of her after she goes down. Kind of like dismissing
Yeah.
her longing for a deeper significance in this experience.
I think that they're kind of making fun of her dream.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
They see it as just a dream
Yeah.
when they're living the hard shit.
Exactly. So that's like more to Korine's commitment to showing both sides of this culture, right? The shallow side and the deep side.
Yeah.
So there are these people who idealize this lifestyle and idealize this culture, and they think of it only as a dream.
Yeah.
And then there are the ones, Britt and Candy, who
Going hardcore.
go hardcore. Yeah, they gotta go hard. Can't be scared. Gotta be hard.
Pretend it's a video game like you're watching a movie.
You ever watch a movie in a video game?
One time I think. Cutscene count? Yeah, that same kind of freezing of time is happening there too, I guess.
Yeah.
When she's saying, I wanna live this moment forever. I wanna buy a house here and stay here, and we see that kind of slow motion throughout the movie too.
Yeah.
They're kind of slowing down the moment. Because how long do you think this movie takes in like real world time?
Right,
a
yeah.
week maybe?
I don't know. It feels weird.
It feels like it's a lifetime.
Yeah, it
that you're
does.
there
It
with
really
them.
does.
But really, it's only spring break.
Right.
And they go, oh, classes are just starting to fill up again, so it's 2 weeks only that they was gone, or a week, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
where
because
the
they
school
left.
is.
They didn't leave at the
Yeah,
beginning
they
of
left
spring break
late,
either.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole movie feels like you're there for months.
Yeah.
But it's just like a week, maybe. Interesting enough.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, a lot of sunset, a lot of nice sunset
Yeah.
shots. And nighttime shooting, too, is very nice.
Yeah, man.
Everything's neon lit.
Yeah.
But for miles neon lit. Like, I'm thinking when fucking they're driving on the boat to Gucci's place.
Yeah.
And you just see this bridge and like wide, and it's fucking a mile long probably, but
Yeah.
beautifully gold lit. And then later on, it's pink or purple lit. It's very saturated in color. Very beautiful.
Yeah, I think. I mean, juxtaposition obviously plays a huge role thematically in the movie, but when it comes to cinematography, Korine's like commitment
Yeah.
to style and to film is such a nice way of elevating the entire movie to something beyond what we're seeing on screen, or something beyond what we're seeing at a more shallow level on screen.
And I don't think he's overcompensating for like
No,
lack
not
of
at all,
narrative
yeah.
at all. No, because the narrative, it's there, and it's almost secondary to critique.
Right.
So you take the critique first for sure. Same thing as Diodato, I guess. Or Diodato might hit you first with the savagery of the images, but
Yeah.
these images are just as violent, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a different way, they're
Yeah.
just as shocking.
And especially right when the movie starts, in that opening party montage, you go, "Oh, this is trash." You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
that's what you think right away. You go, "Oh,
yeah.
this is
Who's
just a
this fucking
garbage
trash
movie."
humper?
Yeah. And then it tricks you and laughs at you at the end. Korine's sitting in his fucking little house laughing at me. Now.
Humping trash. Sitting there, humping trash, making fun of everyone for not humping trash.
I'll give you a gummo spaghetti head, Korine. You make fun of me again, you bastard.
I wrote, after they get bailed out by Alien, they exit the garage. It's like this nice birthing scene almost. A nice rebirth.
Oh, yeah, I know the shot you're talking about. That's
Yeah.
when it kind of blasts you out completely.
Yeah.
Washes
It's
out.
like one of the only daytime
Yeah.
scenes that isn't like a hard party.
Yeah, or like the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, or the
Pretty
beginning of the
well,
movie. So they get bailed out, but
Yeah.
that experience has changed some of them.
For
Faith
the,
primarily.
for the viewers at home, the birthing scene we're talking about is where the girls, they're getting out of jail, and it's tracking behind them, kind of over the shoulder behind them, but very dark lit.
Yeah.
And then a garage door opens in front of them, and the whole screen is just washed out in white, just completely overexposed. All you see is white, and then slowly we kind of fade back into normal color or normal contrast, and we see our hero, Figure Alien standing with his fucking Pontiac, just taking it easy. Those rims are disgusting on that car.
God.
Those are brutal.
That whole car, I think, is disgusting.
Yeah, pretty ugly. It's got these nice dollar sign spinners on it
that don't spin because they're too heavy.
Yeah, not a very good car.
No, no.
I'd take the orange Lamborghini, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Over the red and white fucking. What is that? Sunfire XL.
Before that birthing scene, we get them just in jail and in court and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's overlaid with more of Faith's monologues about how, oh, this isn't what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the dream.
It's funny.
Get me out of here. She kind of, like, we get that repetition again.
Yeah.
And she's almost like praying.
Yeah.
When during those monologues, it's almost like a prayer that they're repeating.
Yeah, it is kind of, all the dialogue seems like mantra stuff, too, that they just repeat over and over.
Yeah, I think that's more of spiritualizing this very insincere or seemingly insincere experience.
They're trying to justify their experience by going, this is what you gotta do, this is what you gotta do, this is what you gotta do.
And so it's like, I mean, Alien says it later quite literally, that he is the answer to their prayers, or her prayers. That was nice.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that this and Tree of Life kind of came out at the same time.
Yeah.
Just because of Malick's, I guess, narration style that he uses in all his movies pretty well. Yeah, all his movies. Where it's narration over image, but the narration doesn't really have to do with the image on screen that you hear. And the narration is more of an interior monologue that a character's thinking, and it's all in prose pretty well.
Yeah.
In his later movies, it gets more high sophisticated language, more but in like Badlands or something, it's like, fuck, I don't want to be here, I just want to get married with her or something. Like you just hear what the person's thinking, but the scene would have nothing to do with what's being narrated.
Right.
Where normally narration would be like an expository tool, like you're showing the scene, you're describing what's happening. This is more of an interior tool where you're learning more about the characters but seeing the world.
It is, like you said, prose style.
Yeah.
It is much more literary than cinematic, which I think that speaks to art films in general.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually more, well, I wouldn't say less cinematic, because that kind of takes away from the cinematography of the film.
Yeah.
Just less.
There's a haughtiness to it.
Yeah, less Hollywood, I guess. Less entertainment, more art.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it has such kind of not stellar reviews.
Yeah, well, I don't think very many people, I mean, I feel extremely pretentious saying this, but I don't think very many people got it. Yeah,
but I mean, watching it, it's pretty in right in your face, though.
I think so as well.
They almost explicitly say, this is,
a critique.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
It's right there. I'm surprised that so many people thought to give it low reviews, or I don't know, 63 on Metacritic or something like that, or 23 audience reception.
38 audience, 67 by critics on Rotten Tomato.
Even if you're going to see Selena Gomez, it must have been a happy surprise when you get. You'd think it'd be a happy surprise when you get something visually stunning, and you got to think a bit about it and go, oh, I wonder if this was that or this was what.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna sound super pretentious, but I'm not sure how much the mass public appreciates cinema in a way where they can, fully understand.
Other than like a divertisement?
Right, like when we watch this, not we, just us, but we.
No, me and you. When we watch.
But we, people, who are, I guess, more into film than most, I don't know, when we say this movie is really pretty, we mean a lot more than just it looks nice.
Yeah.
Right? We're thinking about technique, we're thinking about like intent in the decisions of that technique. We're thinking about style, of course, and actually how it looks. But when someone, who goes on Rotten Tomatoes and reviews this movie with a 38% says this movie was pretty, they mean, Selena Gomez is in it.
Yeah.
Right?
But, like, I would describe the movie as like, oh, the editing was beautiful in it.
Right.
Like, how can the editing be? It's not you don't look at the editing.
Yeah.
but it's more the feel that you get from it.
Yeah. Again, now I just sound like a douchebag snob.
Well, this is a film podcast.
Yeah.
What can you do?
I mean, hey.
I'll cut that part out. Well, I guess he's doing the same thing as Herzog kind of does, where he's taking something silly or a silly topic, putting a surreal element to it or an oniric element,
Yeah.
and elevating it to art status. Like we were talking about, I know last week we were saying Herzog's Even Dwarfs started small, where it's a movie about a bunch of little people on a prison colony and them just going mental. Like, you tell that summary to someone and they go, that sounds like the stupidest movie ever.
Right.
But then you watch and you go, oh, it's beautiful, the movie.
Yeah. The degree of separation Korine puts between the girls and the reality of the life they seek is the same degree of separation that he places between the audience and the deeper meaning and art of the film he's creating. Right? Because he markets it as a party movie.
Yeah.
He sells it as a party movie.
All the posters are just girls in bikinis
exactly.
partying.
So he's almost kind of like fishing to be underappreciated.
Yeah. Or trying to... I was thinking maybe he wants to smack some sense into some people.
Yeah,
maybe it backfired on.
Add to some shock value.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. The first time I saw it, I definitely thought it was just some
Trash
exploitation spring break party movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. That wasn't anything.
And now on second viewing or multiple viewings,
Yeah.
it shows its value.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what other movies I missed out on.
Have to go back and rewatch all your childhood movies.
Yeah, I gotta go back and rewatch every single movie I've ever seen now.
But then by the time you're done, you have to rewatch it again because
Exactly.
you know more. Fuck, it never ends. It's like we're stuck in Florida. I would rewatch this though.
Yeah,
Spring
me too,
Breakers, I'd rewatch right away.
And I think everyone who did see it and thought it was an exploitation film should definitely rewatch it.
Yeah. But like right away, even if like a critique on the movie was like, oh, these characters are just silly characters. Like, why is James Franco, he's got like 2-foot long cornrows with a big silver grill in his mouth. And you go, well, that's kind of putting it in your face that this is it's like a satire and a critique at the same time. Like it's overdone completely. And like the two twins, like a surreal thing like that.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be in your face for you to get the idea of it. Not to go, oh, this is stupid.
Right.
It's overdone. It's supposed to be overdone.
Yeah.
That's what the argument is.
But it's interesting how I mean, I can't think of any examples now, but there are movies like this where they push reality to such an absurd extreme, it almost feels more real.
Yeah.
Like, this whole movie is pretty believable, despite its absurdity.
Yeah. Well, it's like girls go for a party. I guess they steal money. That's a reasonable thing. And then two gangsters kind of fighting over turf. That's a reasonable thing.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know if an example would work, but like another party movie would be Project X.
Right.
That movie, where it just starts in reality and just gets surreal nonsense, but it's more for a laugh.
Yeah.
Do it. There's no real critique there. Because even at the end of the movie, it cycles back and none of the characters changed at all because he's planning a next party at the end of that movie. So like if that would be the movie that Spring Breakers is making fun of.
Yes,
or
exactly.
the ideal that Spring Breakers is saying, look how stupid this is.
Before Alien meets the girls, we're introduced to him on stage.
Yeah.
As some rapper at a beach
We
spring
dope
break
boys,
party.
we
Yeah.
dope boys.
The Dope Boys. And he says something like, this is poetry. Listen to my poetry. And then he says something like booty and money.
Yeah.
And he just repeats booty and money over and over again. Like, that's his poetry.
Yeah.
But then later on, when he's with Brit...
Not poetry, though.
I guess it depends who you ask.
I mean, these definitions are loose.
Later on, when he's with Brit and Candy, they're on the pier.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, the water's pretty, but you gotta watch out for the sharks.
Sharks eat you up.
I think he's talking about himself pretty obviously there.
Yeah.
I think that was funny.
Or just the lifestyle of it, too.
Yeah.
You can't go too deep or else the sharks will get you.
Yeah. But then he starts talking about these three girls.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts giving an actually pretty good poem.
Yeah.
About these 3 girls in front of me. He likens them to mermaids.
Yeah.
He makes some pretty solid allusions to some pretty well-founded literary devices. So it's interesting that before, when he's in the scum of spring break,
Yeah.
his poetry is booty and money.
Yeah.
And then after he meets these girls and after he finds his soulmates, arguably, that spiritual connection is reflected in his art. What did you think of the repetition? Did you find it too much?
No, I thought that I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could have been more, I thought, the whole way through. But it kind of, because I was thinking the more of you're going into this wormhole of time standstill, this kind of limbo world where you're in the party, you're away from reality, but you're in kind of like a heightened reality too at the same time. But this kind of outside of time that I was feeling when I was watching these kind of Florida scenes, I thought the repetition of the dialogue just fit in perfectly with that.
Yeah.
Because you're reliving something or you're hearing it again, you're kind of, I don't know, have I been here before? Has it always been like this? Is it always going to be like that?
Okay.
But then you got taken out at the end.
Yeah. I thought this only happened to me while I was taking notes while watching it, which I think might be why I felt it was too repetitive, is because I was writing it down every time.
Maybe if I watch it again soon, too, I might feel the same.
Because I felt like the repetition of the dialogue at the end of each monologue, mixed with the repetition of the visuals in that moment, was done very well. It was done well to enhance the juxtaposition. It was done well to enhance the religiosity of their sentiments.
Yeah, it's like a poem they're reading over again.
Yeah, but I felt like every time a girl got a monologue, and it was overlaid with a party montage, I was writing down the same notes.
Oh, okay.
So I was kind of like, wait a minute,
yeah,
this is just the same scene.
But yeah, that's the thing. It gives it to you. It tells you it's a critique over and over again throughout the movie.
That's it. I think because I had realized what the movie's about, because I was taking notes, that's probably why I felt it was too repetitive.
If I was listening to it for, like, maybe not narrative form, but kind of structure of the movie, I'd go, okay, yeah, we've done this already a few times. We don't need to repeat it again. But as kind of a viewer, like a first-time viewer, I'm going to pretend it's the first time I saw it, or first time in, like, 7 years I've seen it. And I just kind of let it wash over, and I was like, oh yeah, wait, this is okay, yeah. I kind of I liked a bit of the repetition. It just cements it completely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the first time I had watched it recently, I did the same thing. I just watched it and let it play, just took it in for what it was, and the repetition didn't bother me at all on that viewing. It was really, I think, when I was taking notes for it.
I bet now
jotting
if
it
I
down.
watch it again, I'll go, okay, we've heard this 5 times already.
Yeah.
But maybe it was another cue to help out a less versed audience that's expecting something else, to try and really hammer it down, like, okay, this isn't the movie you thought it would be, but this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. They make sure to tell you.
But I feel like if that is the case, I feel like a movie shouldn't do that.
Okay.
A movie shouldn't have to explain itself.
Spoon feed it to you too much. Yeah.
Right? I think a good movie is good because you're able to
think about it after on, like...
Yeah, or you're able to appreciate it for what it is, not for what it's being explained to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like explaining a joke. If we go back to the preaching scene at the beginning of the movie. Faith's... What's that guy called? Pastor?
I guess so. But even that scene, it's funny, we were talking about Malick. That looks like it's straight out of a Malick movie.
Yeah, I agree.
You're in a church and you're kind of floating around and it's all cut together.
The scene where they're all sitting in a circle and the camera kind of like dances around them. Yeah. That was really cool.
I thought that whole sequence could have been in pick any Malick movie pretty well. Just funny, we were talking about it before, sorry for...
It's okay. He reads from the Bible. He does a Bible reading and it's about temptation.
Yeah.
And so, it's significant because he's reading it to Faith. Yeah. And for Faith, this trip isn't a trip about finding herself like it is for the others, because she's already found herself in Christ. Yeah. So the trip is a test in temptation for her. Yeah. So the passage he reads is about temptation, I think.
And she's thinking about it strongly during that scene.
Yeah,
she's not even in the group. She's just in her head thinking about this.
Yeah, she's very much in that moment. She's not thinking about spring break constantly like the other girls are.
Yeah.
And so,
Or thinking of it as a party.
framed in that light, Candy and Britt become her temptation.
Mm-hmm. And even the other church women warn her before she
Yeah,
rushes,
exactly.
"Oh, those girls are bad."
Yeah, what they say, like they have an evil soul inside them or something
like that. Yeah.
super extreme.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, if you want to go to Florida and burn in hell for eternity, be my guest.
Candy and Britt become her temptation. And so her test is when she gets arrested, right? She's faced with the choice to choose a life of sin or to go back and reject temptation.
Mm-hmm. Each one of these scenes could have been like 5 times as long, and it would be kind of a normal scene length in a movie. I kind of like how short each of these sections are, because you're almost getting little bits of these girls' lives. You're just getting tastes of, okay, this is an apartment party. Okay, now we're back in college. Okay, now this is another apartment party. Now they're in a pool. Now they're in the ocean. But each one of those scenes, if they were not done properly, but done as you'd expect them to do, with normal back and forth dialogue,
Right.
and normal things, each one of those would be 5 minutes long instead of 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But I like how fast it is, because it gives you a complete picture of their world. The same way that the camera's floating around and you get all the different views of the scenes. All these different scenes, or these different little short sequences, give you their whole world.
Yeah.
Or how they see the world.
It's like Korine is giving you the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's only as a whole that you can appreciate what's being shown, as opposed to a more traditional filmmaking where they'd be piecing together the puzzle for you.
Yeah, we're more of like a normal structure where scene 1, scene 2,
Yeah,
scene
okay.
3. These are like scene 1A, scene 2B, scene 1A, scene 2B. Like they cut back and forth, go everywhere.
Yeah, especially there's like 2 or 3 scenes that they always cut back to as well. We didn't talk about, we mentioned it, but we didn't really talk about how Alien just gets blasted in the head within 2 seconds.
Yeah. We cut back to him for a shot. We see his head
Right, yeah.
at the end. But, yeah, he's pretty disposable right there.
And that happens while he's chanting something. Seems like a dream.
That's it.
He keeps saying, seems like a dream.
Yeah.
Seems like a dream. Seems like a dream.
Yeah.
And then he gets blasted right in the head.
Ain't no dream, this Gucci's house. Gucci's wide awake.
That kind of ties into what I was saying of why he died.
Yeah.
And why the girl survived. Right, he's saying it seems like a dream. It's like with these girls, with his soulmates, he gets pulled out of the reality, and he sees it as an image again.
Yeah. This is a fun thing that Lee just thought of. We can read some bad reviews for this movie and hopefully defend the movie, or maybe agree with the reviewer.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe they'll have some good points. Let me try and...
These cornrows fucking suck, dude. I agree.
Okay, here's a good half-star review.
Half star out of 5 or 10?
Half-star out of 5.
Okay.
That is the lowest. Yeah.
That's pretty low.
For anyone wondering, I'm pulling these reviews off of Letterboxd. I think Letterboxd is pretty cool, and I think more people should check it out.
This is an unsolicited plug by Letterboxd.
We are not sponsored by Letterboxd, but if Letterboxd is listening, you can email us at monolithfilmclub@gmail.com.
My Venmo is Nick.
Okay, so there was nothing good about this movie, and I'm ashamed to have watched it. James Franco, you could do better. Also, Gucci Mane has no right to be in this movie.
What?
Right?
How does Gucci Mane have no right to be in it?
Gucci
Gucci Mane
Mane
makes the movie.
He is
Yeah, I like
exactly what this movie's about.
that.
Dude.
Yeah, I like that.
He has every right to be in this movie.
I like that a lot.
If anyone has a right to be in this movie,
But he didn't like anything about the movie at all.
He's ashamed to have watched it.
Ashamed? Well, I guess he just didn't get it then.
Yeah, doesn't sound like he got it. Freaking... I'm not going to call him out by name.
Give his handle. Let's go.
His handle is just his full name.
What's his email?
What's his address and social insurance number? Ooh, this is good. This is someone who definitely did not get it. A movie to make the white racist. A sexist lens seems to like it is epic and relevant. Hipster irony does not make something poignant. This movie is against everything I stand for as a human being. Strong words.
Pretty strong. Funny she would use vocabulary like she did in a review about it. Strange that you'd write it fucking like that.
Yeah.
But I think she might have fallen in the trap.
I think so too.
She might have taken it surface value.
Yeah. I think Korine fucking got him.
But the sexist lens is what's being critiqued.
Right, exactly. And they're saying that because, I don't know, if we live in a sexist society, liking this movie is epic and relevant. But the audience scored it at a 38%, so no one liked this. It wasn't relevant to like this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's a good one that mentions...
What was the white race part at the beginning of that?
It's just a movie to make the white racist.
To make the white racist?
So I think watching it, if you're a white person, makes you racist.
Because Gucci's the bad guy in it?
Because
I don't understand.
Gucci's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Alien is culturally appropriating all of black culture.
Yeah.
The entire movie opens up with a talk on civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this review is very correct. I'm joking, of course.
Got tricked by the critique.
This one mentions Malick.
Okay.
So let's check this out. David Ehrlich compared this to something Terrence Malick would do, and to some extent I agree. All right. Because this is just as terrible, lifeless, dragging, fake deep, shallow, incoherent, and laughable as some of Malick's recent work. He goes on to say, the longest 90-minute movie I've ever seen, although the short runtime is also its biggest strength because there's no way I could have endured this torture for a second longer. It tries so hard to be shocking and unique and against the norm. Like, so hard. We get it, man. What an artsy little artist you are. But it looks nice and has neon lights, I guess.
People got angry at this.
Dude, yeah.
I don't think you get this angry.
It's funny, too, because Korine was trying to critique the norm.
Yeah.
He was saying this is what youth culture is.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to be...
Maybe it was David Ehrlich's review before that was very bad. Or very strongly worded against.
It was... He was
someone
referencing,
quoting?
Yeah, he was referencing Dave, because David Ehrlich had likened it to something Terrence Malick would make, and then this reviewer went on to shit on both Korine and Malick.
Well, fuck this guy then. I misunderstood that. I thought it was David Ehrlich giving a fucking... Well, who gives a fuck what this guy said?
Yeah.
This guy doesn't know butt stuff. What did that guy's review say? We gotta
go back to that one.
Yeah, we gotta cut this guy a bit.
All right, let's go back.
Fucking guy's referencing Ehrlich and then shits on everybody.
David Ehrlich compared this to something Terrence Malick would make. And to some extent, I agree. Because this is just as terrible, lifeless, dragging, fake deep, shallow, incoherent, and laughable as some of Malick's most recent work. That's what he's saying. So he's saying, fuck David Ehrlich, fuck Terrence Malick, and fuck Harmony Korine.
Fuck these Spring Breaker movies, man. It's fake deep shit. Fake deep.
This guy, his name is just John.
Well,
so
fuck off, John. Fucking loser, John.
I'm calling him out hard. His favorite movies are The Hateful Eight.
Well, suck my dick right away, dude. Like
The Handmaiden. Burning. And Your Name. All movies that came out 2015 or later.
Mm. But these are all character-driven movies, too.
I mean, The Handmaiden, I like Park Chan-wook. I haven't seen this movie specifically.
Mm.
Burning is another foreign film.
Yeah, but I'm sure a guy like John, Dickhead John, he's more of a meat and potatoes dialogue character kind of person.
Yeah, you think?
I don't think he would go to a gallery and look at aesthetic experimentation video clips. I think he'd like his TV and his sitcoms.
I'll ask again. Have you seen Mother? Aronofsky?
Oh, yes. Now I remember the thing. This isn't a rehearsed bit. Yes.
I liked it. I actually liked it a lot.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I don't think it won anything that year.
It was on our list of something to be on the podcast too, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite movies from 2017 for sure. So the It's a 2-star review,
Okay.
so not completely trashing it,
Yeah.
but still
not
trashing
happy
it.
with
Yeah.
4 on 10.
So he quotes Jennifer Lawrence as just, "Ah, you people, leave my house," and then
This guy's pretty surface.
and
this
then
guy.
he quotes Darren Aronofsky,
Yeah.
"The house meaning Mother's Earth. Get it? It's a metaphor." I don't think this dude likes metaphors.
This guy doesn't like anything.
No, it doesn't sound like he likes. I think you're right, dude.
This is a straightforward ball sack.
Yeah, this guy does not like depth,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird because he was complaining about being fake, deep, and shallow, but he's viewing these movies.
I wonder what his idea of depth would be.
That's true, eh? Oh, see, here we go. This is weird. He rated La La Land a 5-star out of 5, and he said, "La La Land is like a metaphor for my life." Okay, never mind. I saw metaphor. I thought maybe he was getting deep, but
Yeah.
no. All of his 5-star reviews are like, "I like this movie." Then that's all he says about the ones he likes.
La La Land's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
First scene's terrible. Rest of the movie's good.
Blade Runner 2049, all in caps. "I admire this film with all my heart," and that's his review.
Hey man, there's real depth in that movie, man. Hey man, that's not fake depth Malick shit.
Okay. Looks like a solid amount of the Harry Potter films he rated 5 stars.
We don't have to listen to this guy anymore. This guy is fucking what a butt.
All right, fuck John, dude.
All right, do you want to give our reviews?
Yeah,
of
let's wrap
Spring
it up.
Breakers? That was fun.
I would give this. I gave this movie a 5-star out of 5, so
okay.
10 out of 10.
Wow.
But I give it. I think I'm defensive when it comes to this movie because of the
Okay.
reputation it has.
Yeah.
So, personally, I'm inclined to associate it with a perfect score just to compensate for it.
Yeah.
Realistically, I think it's more around a 7.5, 8.
That's fair.
Just like the depth of the criticism,
Yeah.
the technique used,
Mm.
the juxtaposition. I mean,
I thought the editing was just fantastic.
yeah, the editing as well. Literally every aspect of this movie is so well thought out and so well put together.
Yeah.
I genuinely cannot understand how someone cannot like this movie
Yeah.
and how I once did not like this movie.
Yeah. I'd agree with you on that. Can we round it to 7.75? Not round it. Can we edge it at 7.75?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough. I'll give it a 7.75.
There you go. 7 3/4 out of 10.
No, 7.75.
775, 775 out of 10. I don't know, Spring Breakers, more of a satire, criticism of the culture that it idolizes, I guess. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely watch it.
It's off of Netflix now, though. Not on Canadian
That's
Netflix
true,
anymore.
yeah.
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 So,
Is it on American? I don't know how many American
I
listeners
think
we have.
we got a lot of Bangladesh listeners, so if you're in Bangladesh Netflix, it should be up there.
You know, American Netflix and Canadian Netflix are the only unique ones.
Really?
Everyone else just gets international Netflix.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, even Europe, I think.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, sucks to be international then, eh?
All right, this has been the Monolith Film Podcast. Please email us at monolithfilmclub@gmail.com. Any questions, suggestions, your own comments on the films we discuss, we'd love to read them on air. Check out our Instagram at Monolith Film Pod. We're on Twitter. We're on Letterboxd, where we post reviews, short little reviews of the movies we talk about.
I'm Nick Gillum.
I am Lee Byrne.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next week.
Yes! Oh my god!